Hey guys, Lisa Salvatore here. I'm recording this video on Friday, August 14th. I am doing a mid-month energy report like I promised I would do a few weeks back when I did the full moon energy report. So there's a lot going on, guys. I know exhaustion is extremely high right now. The energy is definitely tense and intense. And the good news is that next week is going to feel a lot nicer and a lot less neurotic's not the appropriate word, but a lot less, I don't want to say psychotic either, but a lot less intense, I'll just say it that way. So the reason being is this past Thursday, which was yesterday, August the 13th, we had a big transit that was taking place, that is going to take place 3 times this year. So I would like you to pay attention to those dates. If you're following me, if you're into this, you obviously feel things on a certain level or know things or want to know things on a deeper level. So I would mark these dates down. But yesterday, August the 13th, we had our first Mars-Pluto square, okay? And then we're going to have a second one, which will be the middle, on October the 9th. And then we're going to have a final one this year, which will be December 20th, okay? These are all 3 times where we have a Mars-Pluto square. Now, what is the significance of this Mars-Pluto square? So Mars is the warrior planet. He is the god of war. He rules over the sign of Aries, okay? It's Aries domain. He's also the traditional ruler of Scorpio, so there's still a Scorpio vibe with Mars, okay? And again, he's the god of war. He's action, he's fire, he's heat, he's drive, he's motivation. He's also the military, okay? And all of those things that Mars rules over can also be abuse of power as well as power that is needed in certain areas, but then it could also be the abuse of power, okay? And it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see what's going on the global scale as far as power goes, okay? That's Martian energy. That's the Mars energy at work here. So now what's happening is Mars is slowing down right now because Mars is getting ready to station retrograde on September the 9th. So, in Aries. So whenever a planet, especially an inner planet like Mars, slows down and gets ready to reverse position, okay, things go haywire, literally. You know, internally, externally, lots shifts. We feel it. We may not always be able to explain it or understand it, but we feel it, and we're like, well, what's going on here? So also I want to mention, interesting to mention, that Mars rules over the head, okay? So if you've been having this past week, especially, I know I've experienced it as well, headaches of any kind. It could be like a dull pain, you know, in the middle of your forehead. It could be in the back. It could be on the sides, sinus. Anything with the head is Mars's domain again. So especially if you are a heavily Aries or Scorpio influenced person with your birth chart, if you have a lot of strong Mars aspects in your birth chart, again, depending on what's happening in your own personal chart right now with transiting planets, there could be something getting activated. There's lots of different things that go into this, okay? And I don't want to get too astro-technical for anyone that may not be interested in that, but just know that there is a basis to all of this, right? As above, so below. So anyway, with Mars so present right now, about to go backwards, his energies felt a lot stronger. So with that comes, and just yesterday we had the first Mars-Pluto square, okay? Now a square is a frictional aspect. So when we have squares, it produces tension, it produces heat, it produces, and not always of the best kind, right? And even if we look at what happened this past week on the global scale, we can see lots of things playing out. We see a lot of people in the public eye, things being revealed to us, right? And there's going to be more to the story because this was the beginning, August 13th, the beginning, right? And then that Mars-Pluto square, October the 9th, in the middle of Mars retrograde is the middle, it's the peak of the story. And then we're gonna have the end of the story on December the 20th and that third Mars and Pluto square. So pay close attention to whatever's going on, you know, in your own world, in your inner worlds, but also on the global scale because there's gonna be lots revealed, right? It's already happening. And we're in Leo season right now. Leo is the sign that rules over people in power, politicians, the royals. They're all, you know, celebrities. They're all highlighted right now. There's things coming out. I don't get my information from the news per se because I don't really watch the news, but I do get it from other channels and other forums, and usually they're astrology related or esoteric based. So anyway, it's all playing out on this big screen of life right now, right? What's going on in the heavens is literally happening down here. It's quite interesting. So with this, yesterday was the first Mars-Pluto square. Mars is the ruler of Aries, like I mentioned. Mars is also the traditional ruler of Scorpio. Pluto is the modern day ruler of Scorpio. So right now with Mars Pluto, we've got Scorpio energy, okay? Now on the higher end of Scorpio energy, it can be really great because it forces us to be in our power, to recognize our power, with Mars Pluto square, this is also about intense desires that we have on the human level, on the most basic level, what we want to see happen and change, and it can be very, very motivating, right? Because we want things to change. We feel that pulse and that push for things to change, and because it's Mars and Pluto, it's like active at the highest degree. However, the shadow side of the Scorpio energy is also, insecurity, dishonesty, manipulation, secrecy, especially having to do with government, right? So that's the negative side, the shadow side of this heated energy. So keep that in mind, that there's, there's a plus and a minus to everything, right? So we just have to pay attention to issues of control in our own lives, right? Because again, what's going on in the outside world, we really can't control. So this Mars-Pluto time squares, these are all about power, surrender, and control. And what we do with power that we can't quite use to our advantage out there, but what we can do in here. That's the most important thing. So keep that in mind and pay close attention to what comes up for you, and journal about it if you want, and just see the patterns with those planets and what they're doing in your chart. Now, if you're a person who was born during a Mars square Pluto transit, and you're a Mars square Pluto at birth, I should say, sorry, I said that wrong. If you're a Mars square Pluto at birth, okay, which you would know if you've had your chart done, or if you know how to do your own chart, you could figure that out. But this will affect you even more. So you also want to pay attention to what these planets are doing in your own chart, and what they're triggering, and what they might be setting off for you personally. You don't have to go that far, so I hope I'm not, losing anyone here. If you want to, you certainly can. If you don't want to, just ignore that part. Now, even more significant, tomorrow, August the 15th, Uranus is going to go retrograde until early 2021. Uranus is an outer planet, okay? So when the outer planets go retrograde, a lot of people don't think that they affect us, but they do. And maybe even more deeply than the inner planets do, because they move so slowly that their effects are felt on a longer scale. But with Uranus is quick, okay? Uranus is the planet of it's the proverbial lightning bolt. It's the god of thunder. That's what Uranus is. So think about thunder and lightning, right? You hear the thunderbolt, and then you see the lightning, and it illuminates things for that quick, brief moment in time. And that lightning can strike, and it can slice something in half. It can start a fire. It can burn something to the ground. It could tear your world apart in a nanosecond, to be rebuilt and to be reborn, which are also themes of Pluto, by the way. So we're under this tremendous time period of massive renewal, regeneration, growth, transformation of the highest order and in all forms. And when you really stop and think about it, it's needed, it's necessary, because we cannot keep going the way that we've been. Uranus is also in Taurus, okay? Taurus is a sign of grounded earth. It does not like change forced upon it. But with Uranian energy, Uranus doesn't care how it gets the job done. It's not like Saturn. When you're dealing with a planet like Saturn is slow. Saturn takes its time. Saturn does everything correctly. It makes sure it crosses its T's and dots all of its I's. Not Uranus. Uranus is like, that needs to go. I'm going to burn it to the ground. Not literally, although that could happen. But it just gets the job done. And then you're left to pick up the pieces, or they get picked up for you, and things shift and things change. And usually for the better after the dust settles, right? That's Uranian energy. That's what we're going to be under from tomorrow. And we've already been feeling it, because these transits start to be felt before. But tomorrow, all the way through early 2021, and because it's Taurus, guys, Taurus rules over the monetary system, okay? Taurus is finance. Taurus is our money. Taurus is our value system. Taurus is also, more importantly, the earth. It's nature. Think about this planet lately, and think about what's been happening weather-wise, with its Mother Nature telling us we need to change. We need to fix things. We need to take care of our earth. We need to take care of our planet. We need to take care of ourselves. our values, you know, everything. We need to connect, because Taurus is also all about connection. It's about the five senses. It's about what you can feel and make tangible. And a lot of beauty abounds in the earth, right? And that's what we need to get back to. And the only way we're going to get back to that is by stripping all of the old crap that doesn't work and having a reset collectively. And that's what's happening right now. So anyway, not to get all woo-woo here, but Uranian energy is the proverbial lightning bolt. Now, I'm not going to go and make predictions about what's going on in the world. However, I will say that in your own life, in your own world, okay, just try to be more open-minded and go out of your comfort zone a little bit with certain areas where you have felt stuck. Because with Uranus retrograde, it forces you, all retrogrades kind of force you to go inward. They don't force you to, but they promote it, right? You go inward, you reflect more. And Uranian energy is also very out of the box and free thinking and creative and intuitive. And it's like you get those flashes of inspiration. And, you know, write them down, because that's beautiful. That's what you need right now. That's what we all need right now, right? So with Uranian energy, it's like, you know, you just don't know what you're going to get. It's a wild card. Uranus is a wild card. So even with the weather patterns lately, they've been wacky, right? That's Uranus's domain. That's, you know, there's a lot shifting, shaping, changing, growing. The old ways have to die. They just have to. And we see it playing out, guys. So there's really no dispute to that. However, pay more attention to the internal. Pay more attention to your own world, what you might need to change or what you might be fearing when it comes to change. Because when Uranus is retrograde, you could get those flashes, and then you could have the inspiration to do the work to get you there. Or Uranus could also just come and strike, the lightning strike, right? Not literally, although I guess it could be. But it'll come in and it will strike, and it will say, it'll break something for you. And that break could be the breakthrough that you need to move you forward, okay? On the world scale, right? Same thing. We could have those breaks that are needed to move us forward right now. Also, you know, we just keep hearing more and more things being revealed. This is only the beginning of the story, guys. Like, what do you think the next 6 months are going to be like? I try not to think about it because, again, I can only do what's in here, control what's in here, not what's out there. I can think about it. I can, you know, stew on it. I can have my thoughts and my feelings and all of that. But at the end of the day, it's going to be what it's going to be, right? Like it or not. Even when you think about what's going on with the coronavirus still, and these schools and these poor parents and teachers that are it's like, you know, people are being forced to decide who gets to work, who's going to stay home. Are we homeschooling? Are we not? It's a lot. And I'm not going to say the virus isn't real, because it is real. It's not a hoax. I mean, I know people that have passed away from it. It's not a fake virus by any means. But do I feel like it's being highly politicized? Absolutely. Do I think it's being used to its and their advantage for control? Yes, I do. Anyway, I'm not going to go off on that whole tangent, but I will say, just take really good care of yourselves, guys. Know that next week brings in some beautiful energy. It's a really nice new moon in Leo on Tuesday the 18th. I'll come back with another video for that. It's just luscious. That's the best word I can use for this new moon. There's a lot of positive energy attached to it, a lot of positive initiation and drive and desire, and it's a really nice new moon. So anyway, coming off of this week has been rough this past week and the week before that. But going into next week and the week after, things kind of lighten up a little bit. At least collectively we'll feel it. Now, again, on the global scale, we may still see more rumblings of things to come over the next couple of months. But remember, stay in your center, you know, do good for others, do good for yourself, and you'll be okay. Just don't lose it, guys. This is a test of spiritual endurance right now, because there's so much going on. You have to really try hard. It's not easy. I go to dark places too. It's really hard sometimes to not do that. It takes a lot of effort, but we all can do it, right? All right, guys, I'll be back with another video next week. Take good care. Bye.